With Doubtnut, get instant video solutions to all your maths, physics, chemistry, and biology doubts. Just click the image of the question, crop the question, and get instant video solution. Download Doubtnut app today.
In this question, we have been asked that in case of pea plants, if we are crossing a pure tall pea plant with a pure short plant, what is the ratio of tall to short plants going to be in the F2? So here we are talking about inheritance. And as soon as we mention the word inheritance, the first name that comes to mind is Gregor Mendel, who worked for many years on garden peas, that is the Pisum sativum plant, and after raising several generations of these plants and trying to observe in them that how the characters are being passed on from one generation to the other, that is from the parent to the progeny, Gregor Mendel came up with three generalizations which are today known as Mendel's laws of inheritance. So here in this case we are talking about garden pea plant only, and the trait that we are considering, the character in question over here is the height of the plant. So stem height is the character, and if we go according to Mendel's laws, the first law of inheritance that he gave us is the law of dominance. So according to this law, what is the mechanism of inheritance? He says that any particular character in an organism is under the control of a particular factor, and according to Mendel, these factors always occur in pairs. So basically what he's trying to say is that any character, in this case the stem height, it is under control of one particular gene, and by saying that they occur in pairs, he means that this gene has two alternative forms. There are going to be two alleles, out of which one is going to be the dominant one. In this case, capital T is the dominant allele which produces tall plants, and the other recessive allele which is not going to be able to express itself in the presence of the dominant one, in this case it is the small t, it is going to produce the short or dwarf plants. So the cross which they are telling us about over here is a monohybrid cross. Why monohybrid? Because here we are only concerned with one characteristic. We are only considering stem height and no other trait of the plant. So we are going to cross tall plant with short one. So pure tall plant, it has both capital T alleles, and short plant has both small t. So when we cross these, in the F1 generation, in the first filial generation that we are going to obtain, we are going to find hybrids whose genotype is like this. Why? Because from one parent they have received capital T, from the other parent, from the dwarf parent, they have received the small t. But when we look at them, they are always going to be tall. All of them are tall. Why? Because according to the law of dominance, even though the small t is here, it is the recessive allele, so it is not going to express itself, and only the capital T is going to show in the phenotype. So all of these plants are going to be tall. So in the F1 generation, all of them are the same. When we look at them, all of them are tall. No dwarf plants are obtained. But when we self-pollinate these hybrids which are obtained in the F1 generation to produce the next filial generation, the F2 generation, what we are going to see is, when we cross them, let's cross them like this and find out what kind of combinations can be there. In the F2 generation, one case we can have where from both parents it has received capital T. Other case can be when from one parent it has received small and from the other it is receiving capital. And it can also be the case that from both parents the recessive allele is coming. So these four kinds of possibilities are there in the F2 generation. But out of these four, how many are going to be tall? This one is going to be tall. It only has capital T. Now this one, because of law of dominance, even though it has the small t, but capital T is dominant, so this is also going to be tall. And out of four, only one is going to be short, which has both the small t alleles. So tall and dwarf plants are going to be produced in a 3:1 ratio in such a monohybrid cross. What have they asked us? They are only asking us what the ratio of tall plants to short plants in the F2 generation is. So in such a monohybrid cross, according to the law of dominance, we are going to obtain in 3:1 ratio the plants which have the dominant and the recessive phenotype.
For class 6 to 12, IIT JEE and NEET level, Trusted by more than 5 crore students. Download Doubtnut app today.